everyone, it's Chef Malls from On Molly's Plate. We are going to make a white bean pasta, and we're going to do this in our electric skillet here, but you could do this in any pan on the stove, electric skillet, whatever floats your boat. So I cooked the pasta according to package directions. It's cooled a little bit, but you can do it with it warm as well. And I'm going to get some olive oil down into my skillet. I'm going for about 2 tablespoons here. And I'm going to go with 1 chopped onion, a diced onion in here. That goes in. I have 3 to 4 cloves of minced garlic. That goes in here. Make sure I'm on like medium-high heat here. I've got my onions and garlic going. It's just starting to sizzle. I want these to just get a little bit soft. And what I'll do, I'll talk about seasonings here. I'm keeping this super simple. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, and some dried parsley. If you have fresh herbs, that would go fantastic in here, but dried herbs are great. You can also use Italian seasoning, oregano. I have half a teaspoon of each of those things in here. So I'm going to sprinkle that right over my onions and garlic. And they are sizzling and starting to soften. So that already smells so good in here. The fragrance is fantastic, and it's going to make for a super flavorful pasta. This is what I'm using in this version, but you can really utilize this recipe to use something you have in the fridge. If you've got some zucchini, cut it up, or some spinach, even frozen spinach or frozen broccoli would be fantastic in here. So these are starting to soften, and I'm going to add in some whole cherry tomatoes. I personally don't love cherry tomatoes whole if they're raw, but if you're cooking them, I love for them to burst and let the heat soften them and sort of release their juices and flavors. So that goes right in. And you want everything to be well coated in the olive oil and the seasonings to make a really flavorful dish. And we're layering flavors on top of each other. So this is already, again, starting to soften. You can see the tomatoes are also starting to get a little bit of wrinkle in their skin from the high heat. So we have our can of the white bean. The can was drained and rinsed under some tap water. And so that can is going to go in here as well. We're going to go ahead and cook this for about 5 minutes until everything's soft and the tomatoes have burst. And then we'll go ahead and add our pasta and you'll finish it up. Super easy, super simple, and it's so good. Okay, so 5 to 10 minutes on medium-high heat. And this is what we got. Our tomatoes have started to burst. Our onions have completely softened. And our beans are cooked down to make almost like a sauce or like a stew, which is perfect for our pasta. So here's 1 box of pasta cooked according to package directions. We get it all up. It's just been sitting up for a little bit. I did toss some olive oil on it just to keep it from sticking. And it's just going to rehydrate and soften in this white bean and tomato and onion and garlic mixture. I'm going to put the top down just for a second, just steam it. And then I'm going to give it a little more olive oil just to make sure it's nice and saucy. Give it a little steam. One of the best parts about this meal is it caters to a lot of dietary restrictions, so it's gluten-free. But this meal is actually naturally vegan. We might top with some cheese, but the meal itself is totally vegan, which is great. We also got a ton of fiber and protein coming from your both your beans and from your pasta, which is fantastic. You can also add any veggies you really like: broccoli, spinach, asparagus, green beans. It's really a versatile dish. Allows you to sort of clean out the fridge, and it's really delicious. And the beans make that sauce and adds a protein. Next time you go to the store or get some meat, your beans can be the protein in this dish. So the beans are basically made our sauce. We're just going to give it a little bit of olive oil. We're going to turn our heat off, and I'll show you how I plate this up. So we have our beautiful pasta with our burst tomatoes, adding so much color, and our white beans have really created the sauce for our pasta, which is fantastic. So got a big old bowl here. I'm going to serve this up. I'm just going to pile this in. Make sure you get a nice serving. This meal, depending on size, could serve 4 to 5 people, which is fantastic. And here we go. So now, this is totally optional, but I like to top it with a few things. First of all, if you like spicy, red pepper flakes are fantastic. But a little bit of just dried parsley flakes, beautiful. A little drizzle of olive oil just gives a little bit of extra richness. And then if you want, if you're not keeping this dairy free, you can add on a little bit of Parmesan as well. So there you have it. That is your finished product. It is absolutely delicious, so easy to make, and I can't wait for you to try it.